بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qaf wal Qur'anil Majid. بل عجبوا أن جاءهم منذر منهم فقال الكافرون هذا شيء عجيب أإذا متنا وكنا ترابا ذلك رجع بعيد قد علمنا ما تنقص الأرض منهم وعندنا كتاب حفيظ بل كذبوا بالحق لما جاءهم فهم في أمر مريج أفلم ينظروا إلى السماء فوقهم كيف بنيناها وزيناها وما لها من فروج والأرض مددناها وألقينا فيها رواسي وأنبتنا فيها من كل زوج بهيج تبصرة وذكرى لكل عبد منيب. As we carry on our discussions in Surah Qaf, we talked about the first 5 verses inshallah last week. For those of you that missed the lecture, you can go back and listen to it on the YouTube. We'll just go through so that we're able to create like a sequence of the meaning. So we'll just go through the quick meanings of the first 5 verses and get into our topic for today. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts off with the Surah Qaf, by the word Qaf, حروف المقطعات, والقرآن المجيد, by the glorious Quran. بل عجبوا أن جاءهم منذر منهم. Right? Do they find this a strange wonder that a warner came from amongst them? فَقَالَ الْكَافِرُونَ هَذَا شَيْءٌ عَجِيبٌ. The disbelievers, they say, this is a very amazing or strange thing, both meanings. أَإِذَا مِتْنَا وَكُنَّا تُرَابًا ذَلِكَ رَجْعٌ بَعِيدٌ. When we are dead, or when we die, and we become nothing but dust, ذَلِكَ رَجْعٌ بَعِيدٌ. That return, that we will come back to life after dust, is a really far-fetched thought and return. قَدْ عَلِمْنَا مَا تَنْقُصُ الْأَرْضُ مِنْهُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we knew exactly how much their body is going to decompose on a daily basis. قَدْ عَلِمْنَا. We knew in our knowledge of the past, مَا تَنْقُصُ الْأَرْضُ مِنْهُمْ. What earth is going to take from their bodies when they're placed in their grave. وَعِنْدَنَا كِتَابٌ حَفِيظٌ. And all of this was for us written in a guarded book. بَلْ كَذَّبُوا بِالْحَقِّ. They denied. Allah is like, nay, they denied بالحق. They denied the truth that came to them. لما جاءهم فهم في أمر مريج. They are in a confused state. Now when Allah ends over here, that their denial was nothing but based on a confusion. They're in a confused state. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts, what can get us out of confusion? Pondering and thinking. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts off and He says, أَفَلَمْ يَنْظُرُوا إِلَى السَّمَاءِ. Have they not looked? يَنْظُرُوا إِلَى السَّمَاءِ. Do you not look at the sky? Do we not get out and we walk out? Do you not look upon the sky and see what is there? يَنْظُرُوا إِلَى السَّمَاءِ. Are they not pondering upon the sky, looking at it? What is it that Allah wants you to look at? فَوْقَهُمْ. Number 1, this sky is above you. It's the greatest creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's one meaning. أَفَلَمْ يَنْظُرُوا إِلَى السَّمَاءِ فَوْقَهُمْ. The second meaning is, do you not look at the grand nature of the sky? It was built without any pillars, and its creation is فَوْقَهُمْ, i.e. the creation of the sky is far more difficult than your own creation. The intricacy of its being built, it is far more intricate than you. أَفَلَمْ يَنظُرُوا إِلَى السَّمَاءِ فَوْقَهُمْ. It is above you in its intricacy and in its depth and all the requirements for it to be able to sustain itself. It is far more powerful of a creation of Allah than you. كَيْفَ بَنَيْنَاهَا. Now when you're looking at the sky, look at this, not only just the sky, but also the process that went into it in its creation. All the gravitational forces. And remember we talked about it, that there are different types of sunnah. One of the sunnah, one of the laws that govern this earth of the gravitational pull, with a little bit extra gravity, a little bit less gravity, you have a moon effect or a Mars effect. Right? All of this is what? It's so balanced. Are we not pondering and looking upon this? كَيْفَ بَنَيْنَاهَا. So over here Allah wants you to not only ponder on the existing creation, but also Allah wants you to marvel at how that creation came into existence. There are 2 points to ponder upon. وَزَيَّنَّاهَا. When the beauty of this entire world is engulfed in the darkness of the night, that's where the beauty of the sky comes. وَزَيَّنَّاهَا. Last night, if those of you that went from Qiyam, if you looked at the sky, right? Pure, clear sky. Very, very calm night. Kind of like Laylatul Qadr, right? I was not able to see the sunrise, but but if you look at it, it had all the indications, but the sky was beautiful. The calm night, what gives it the most beautiful feeling to be able to walk in that starry night? Unfortunately, we live in city dwellings where the ambient light that shines onto the sky, we sometimes forget to see the actual, or we sometimes fail to actually see the beauty of the sky, right? I'm sure there might be some, I have never looked at it, but I'm sure there are going to be places that are called dark night reserves, dark sky reserves. So in Canada, if you're driving around, they have these areas designated that after, from a certain radius, there is no light around them. And they call them dark night reserves. So you can actually drive up and literally enjoy the sky. It's like people take their telescopes and all of that. But Allah is like, look at this and how Allah has beautified. The second part, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, كَيْفَ بَنَيْنَاهَا. This is where the Mufassirun, they've said that, if we think that the 7 heavens and all the first sky, our sky, and then all the skies above are just gas, then that's not accurate. When Allah uses the word bana, banaynaha, it's actual physical structures that are there. You and I remember all the hadiths that we read about it, that the Buraq was going in the first heaven and it was guarded, and then there was a gate, the gate was open. It's not a gas gate. It's an actual physical gate that is being guarded by an angel. There are passages. Similarly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says towards the end of Qiyamah, you're going to see the sky, it will be doors. All the doors of the skies are going to be open. So understand that the 7 heavens, we may just see gases, we may not see structures, but there is an actual structure there. بَنَيْنَاهَا وَزَيَّنَّاهَا. And we beautified it. وَمَا لَهَا مِن فُرُوجٍ. And you don't find any rifts in it. Any ceiling, anybody has done any form of construction work, right? When the ceiling crosses a certain level, it is bound to have cracks. You can fortify it, and then we come and we put all various different types of decor to cover the defects of that ceilings. Allah is like, the ceiling, the sky that you see, firstly, it's got no pillars. Number 2, it has no rift. And Surah Mulk, مَا لَهَا مِن فُطُورٍ. It doesn't have any cracks in it. There's no rifts in it, no cracks in it. No indentations, no concavities and convexities. It's absolutely perfect in its nature. Then Allah switches us. You're looking at the sky, وَالْأَرْضَ. Now look at the earth that you walk on. But over here Allah did not say, أَفَلَمْ يَنْظُرُوا إِلَى الْأَرْضِ. Did you not look at the earth? Because it's right here. We should be pondering upon the earth. It's a thing that is next to us. We walk on it every single day. Hence the requirement of saying, did you not ponder, did you not look at the earth, was not there. وَالْأَرْضَ مَدَدْنَاهَا. The earth that you walk on, we have flattened it for you. We have spread it out for you. So the question happens, it's flattened, right? We all know that we, as a human being, we can only see up to 5.3 miles. Past 5.3 miles, even if somebody has binoculars or anything, you're not going to be able to see because of the curvature of the earth is going to prevent you from seeing. 5.3 miles. 5.3 miles, anything that was flattened cannot be curved from physics perspective. Something was flattened for 5.3 miles flat, then it cannot be curved. So that curvature that you can keep on walking and you will just see flat, but in reality the earth is round, that's what Allah wants you to think about. That yes, the curvature hits after a certain point, but for your relative sense, it's always flat for you. مَدَدْنَاهَا وَأَلْقَيْنَا فِيهَا رَوَاسِيَ. This is something really interesting and powerful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَأَلْقَيْنَا فِيهَا رَوَاسِيَ. In other parts of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَجَعَلَ فِيهَا رَوَاسِيَ. That Allah created for the earth, rawasiya. The word rawasiya, in the English generally translated as mountains. In the Arabic language, in the Quran, we have Jabal, that also denotes as a mountain. Rawasiya, that also comes as a mountain. Tawd, that's also translated as a mountain. Sakhra, that's also translated in mountain. Right? A'lam, that's also translated in certain verses in the context in mountain. Each one of these 5 words have a different meaning. Now, rawasiya is a mountain, and Allah just wants you to focus on the function of its pegging. So it is a mountain, but the function that Allah wants you to think about is pegging. The second thing is, Allah created these mountains, so when earth is flat, that's why the word comes وَأَلْقَيْنَا, that after Allah flattened, وَأَلْقَيْنَا, that we dropped on the earth. So mountains were created, the earth was flattened, and then these mountains were pegged onto the earth. وَأَلْقَيْنَا, i.e. they were thrown from somewhere above into the ground. وَأَلْقَيْنَا فِيهَا رَوَاسِيَ. That's one meaning. The second is وَأَلْقَيْنَا فِيهَا is a figurative meaning, that if something was thrown from above into the ground, most of it will be underneath the surface and portion will be above. As we know that 2/3 of the mountain is below the surface. Right? Everest that we see, that many kilometers above the sky, actually 2/3 of it is underneath the ground. So that's another indication that al-qaid, that it is so pegged into it, its functionality, that it won't waver and it'll keep you. Here's the interesting part. It's a side tangent. But whenever Allah uses the word Jabal in reference to the Qiyamah, the word Rawasiya is never mentioned. Because on the Day of Judgment, when Qiyamah happens, those mountains are going to be like cotton balls flying. Their functionality of creating stability on the earth will no longer exist. So that's why every time Allah uses Jabal in the Qiyamah context, He removes the word Rawasiya or any of the functionality of its stability. Because it's going to be a day that is going to be filled with instabilities and zalzala, and all of this is going to happen. So the Jabal is only no longer functioning the function, it no longer has the function it was supposed to do. Right? Just a side tangent. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says over here that وَأَلْقَيْنَا فِيهَا رَوَاسِيَ, that we casted onto this earth, we pegged onto this earth these mountains. وَأَنْبَتْنَا فِيهَا مِنْ كُلِّ زَوْجٍ بَهِيجٍ, and we created, we أَنْبَتْنَا, we grew, we made to grow in this earth, فِيهَا, in this earth, مِنْ كُلِّ زَوْجٍ, every kind of beauty. مِنْ كُلِّ زَوْجٍ بَهِيجٍ, everything that can provide bahja. The word bahja means that you look at it and you feel happy. Right? As the Arabs, they used to say, 3 things that provides happiness. 3 things will always yuzilul hazan, they will remove sadness from you. Right? النظر إلى الماء, to look at water. That's why people want waterfront properties and stuff, right? There's something calming that when you're sitting there and you see all of that water. Number 2 is to look at things that are green, right? And number 3 is the face of a baby. These are 3 things that will eliminate sadness from people. So bahja is attached to greenery. So Allah is like, look at everything that I have created around you. That is min kulli zawjin bahij, every type of happiness that you can gain from looking at the creation of Allah, you will find that in it. We have so far discovered, So on estimate, the scientists believe that there are 435,000 unique types of plant that exists in the earth. 435,000. Up till now, we have only discovered 40% of them. And most of them, so when we say these 40%, from the majority of this 40% of the species has only been seen 5 to 6 times by human beings. So there's the regular plants, and then the remaining that we have recorded them, we were able to have maybe 5 or 6 maximum instances of seeing them into the jungle or in wild. The rest is still to be discovered. Every year, they record 2,000 new plants that are found every single year. Plants that they did not have categorized before. So Allah is like, all of this was created so you and I can feel happiness. Right? Not so you and I feel happiness by putting green plants on our television screens. Right? Rather, we go out in the jungle, we go out and walk and find that comfort from this. Bahja, we find happiness in our hearts. When I used to work in the hospital in Canada, in the psych ward for the teenagers, when teenagers will come with pediatric psych ward for mental health, issues that people would have, they used to have this statement. They used to say, screen to sky ratio, right? And they used to believe that for every 1 hour of screen time for a teenager, they require 5 hours of sky time. So before the doctors would prescribe any medications, they would first things they would do is remove complete screens. The second thing is the screen to sky ratio would be that, you want to get access to a screen, you must be outside for 5 hours. You must be in sun. See, like, there is something natural that happens, which Allah is like, this was created for your happiness, bahja. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, all of this, why is this important? Double sirah. It is so that we just not look at things at face value, but we're able to understand the insights of why Allah has created. Double siratan. It is there for you to be awakened from the ghafla, from the state of heedlessness that we talked about, so that you can actually have insight and look at the plants and look at the nests of the hawk that you find in the trees right across from us. All of that is tabsira. Wake up. Allah has an absolute plan of how He's creating this world. Do you not see? Tabsira, wake up from this. Wa dhikra, and it's a reminder that Allah created you, the same Allah that created all that you see around you. Tabsira, it's a reminder, it should give you an insight. Wa dhikra, and it's a reminder for you. But for whom is it a reminder? Li kulli abd. It's a reminder only for that person who subdues himself to the commands of Allah. He becomes a true abd. Allah says this, sami'na wa ata'na. I cannot take this, no problem. This is haram, la mushkila. Absolutely. I met one of the brothers, mashallah, he made his life goal that he is going to fight riba, right? And he started a company, young guy, started a company, I met him, he was very anxious, he was very passionate about it, right? Today, that company is over $1 billion, Wahid Investments. Right? And his goal for life is that he's going to provide such a powerful alternative for people to make money without riba. Right? So when a person submits, abd, when you submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's commands, then other doors open. So who is the entire world, this universe that Allah walked us through? The sky, the earth, walking, all the plants, tabsira. It should give you an insight. Wa dhikra, it's a reminder. Li kulli abd. It's only for a servant of Allah who decides to submit himself to Allah. The second quality is munibun. This abd must be a munib. This abd must be a person who returns back. Returns back from what? Returning back from what? Returning back from every single time we break our covenant with Allah. Every time I break my promise with Allah. Every time I don't fulfill His commands. Every time I sin in His accord. Every time I don't honor the fast. and I do things that I was not supposed to. Every time we do that, this abd, this person who is submitted to Allah, he says, Ya Allah, I broke this promise. But I am abd, I am a servant of yours, munib, I'm going to turn back. One of the scholars, he says, al-munib, the definition they gave, is a person, الراجع إلى الحق بطاعة الله. A munib is a person who comes back to haqq. He comes back to what he knows to be true, and he submits to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَإِذٍ حَرَفَ. But when there happens to be deviance, which is inevitable, every one of us is going to break that promise. When that promise is broken, أَوْ شَغَلَهُ شَاغِلٌ, or he places Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on a lower category and something else takes precedence. It's his job, it's his family, it's his work, it's career, education. Something else becomes more priority than Allah. Then this person, ibtadar al-ruju'. The first thing he wakes, when he sees these plants, when he sees these trees, he sees Allah's creation around, what happens? He wakes up and he says, Ya Allah, I'm on the wrong path. I want to come back to you, Ya Allah. So that becomes a reminder for him to come back and reprioritize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first, then everything else comes second. That is the meaning of munib. That you are in the word munib, you are going to break the covenant, but how quickly can you get back up and come back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and fulfill that promise? أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه فإنه هو الغفور الرحيم.